Yeah, it feels like they're just trying so hard to find the new hot thing that they are like, well, if it doesn't get a season, like they'll be there.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast, with your hosts, Connor O'Neill and Matthew Hughes.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerdy Misfits Podcast.
Howdy.
Howdy, howdy.
Welcome.
If you're new around here, we talk about a bunch of nerdy stuff, anime, comics, sometimes Star Wars, sometimes
Marvel,
random stuff.
DC, food,
We've had food, Harry Potter once.
D&D occasionally.
But yeah, so if you like any of that stuff, you should hit that subscribe button or the follow button, however you're listening, and join us on this journey.
Exactly.
With that said, we will be discussing some anime today. Recently, we had Anime Expo. This was a few weeks back, actually, now at this point. But we had some pre-established episodes already, so we're a little on the behind, but
Exactly.
we'll still
That's
give the
okay.
news.
Exactly.
So we had Anime Expo 2025, a lot of announcements, trailers, etc. that happened. A world record was broken.
Wild.
So yeah, and needless to say, but 2026, we're gonna be eating
Gonna be a good year.
for anime fans, and this year is no slouch.
No.
So I'd say I'm pretty excited. With that said, just a couple little housekeeping things. Give a little bit of a schedule update. So next week will be our Anime of the Month episode, which means you have a very limited amount of time.
Yeah, if you're not watching it yet, give it a watch.
It is a shorter show. It's Ping Pong the Animation.
Only 11 eps.
Last week of every month, the episode will be Anime of the Month, where we just give our thoughts on an anime. We try and sometimes break out of our shell. I would say that this one's a little bit more on the
very
unique
different
style.
than what I'm used to personally. So,
And we would love to get your guys' thoughts. We have a Discord that you can join in our link tree down below if you want to be involved with the watch along. And give us your thoughts. We'll gladly bring them up in the podcast if that's what you want. And some of you may be keen to notice that, but what about Fantastic Four? And
it's coming.
It's going to be coming. It'll just be a week later.
Gives you guys more time to watch it.
We will have seen it on release.
Exactly.
But we have some scheduling.
Busy,
scheduling issues. So it'll be coming out a week later, but gives more time for everyone else to see it. And we're going to be going into spoilers anyways. So some of you wouldn't even watch it until you watch it anyway.
Exactly. So. And then after that, we'll potentially be talking about different things that came out at San Diego Comic-Con. So stay tuned for that. Could have potential for lots of various trailers. Will we get Ahsoka Season 2 trailer? Will we get a new Marvel show? Or, we don't know. DC movies.
DC movies.
There's
shows.
a lot that now that DC's cooking.
Could be blown open.
Could be insane things that we're going to be seeing. And the fact that anime is getting more popular. There's a couple of anime panels that are going to be there too. So, yeah, there could be a lot and there could be nothing. So, we'll see. Stay tuned for potential.
We will see in a few weeks.
Exactly. But they're going... with that being said, like Connor said, there was a big Anime Expo event that happened a couple weeks ago. And we'll get the amusing one out of the way is that there was a Guinness World Record beat.
Which, if you guys don't know, we both worked at Guinness World Record.
Museum.
A museum.
One of the last surviving Guinness World Record museums in the world. One of the last 3 at the time.
Where record attempts were also made.
Agreed. You specifically saw some records broken.
So
I've met a few people that broke records. Same for you.
So it's, it's
a time.
Back to our roots.
Exactly. And, so July 7th, the One Punch Man franchise had received the Guinness World Records for the most people performing the One Punch Man Serious Punch. This was set at the July 5th Anime Expo, and it is 1,107 people all doing that.
They didn't have to all be dressed up. They were just...
They just had to be in the same room.
Fair enough.
Just 1,107 people doing that serious punch in the room at the camera. The voice actor of Saitama was there. He gave the countdown, and then boom, serious punch. Wild.
Very cool.
But anyways, jumping right into some of the biggest news. There's obviously more news that came out, but these are the ones that obviously struck us.
Yeah, so we'll go through a lot of the big anime trailers / announcements that happened. We'll go over obviously the most exciting one, which is Rooster Fighters anime coming out. Have you've read the
Yeah,
first
so
volume, or?
so I recently finished the first volume like last week of this
Okay,
recording.
so very recent.
I have the first 7 volumes. I think there's only 8 or 9 out now. But when it first came out, I was reading it online. I think I read the first 3 chapters because it's just so out there.
It's cool.
But it's such
The art is great.
The art is insane,
Yeah.
which is wild because for those who don't know, Rooster Fighter is exactly what it sounds like, where it is a rooster that fights giant kaiju level demons.
You gotta love when you get to the point.
But yeah, the artwork is really well done for no reason. Obviously,
To
tell
get
a good
people to
story,
read it.
but like it's just wild that this has such clean, good art. But yeah, so we got a trailer for it. Go check out the trailer.
What did you think of the trailer?
I was surprised. I like the CGI doesn't look terrible.
It does,
like-
yeah. It came off to me as a little bit more of like I don't want to like be one of those haters, but it did come off more of like clean CGI because I know there are some people who are just purists and are like, nah, you can't do CGI, but like Beastars was done well.
Agreed.
Land of the Lustrous.
There
anime
is
that-
opportunity to do CGI good
well, yeah,
versus bad, and we've seen.
and we saw both.
Yeah.
In what we'll be covering, we've
Exactly.
seen both. So I thought it looked decent. Definitely wasn't the worst CGI.
Yeah, not the worst CGI. Is it 10 out of 10 CGI? No. Will I be watching it?
We also don't know.
100%.
It could-
Exactly.
the-
It could just be.
They could
It's
be
just a
cleaning stuff
teaser.
up. It's just
Exactly.
Now, I will say one issue that Rooster Fighter does bring up, and I think I've seen talked about online and other places, is like you just mentioned in English, and I don't know how far they are in the Japanese volumes. It's only like 8 or 9 volumes,
Yes, we
and
did
we're
discuss
already
this. Yeah.
getting an anime.
It's tough, right? Because obviously, I think the volumes are the 8 or 9 chapters. I want to say like per volume, and like we said, an average 24 episode season is usually the first 8 or 9 volumes.
Yeah, unless maybe 10, or unless you're one piecing it, then you got tons of content.
Then you're pacing the heck out of it, and you have a lot of content. But yeah, it's worrisome because so we're gonna get this, and then the physical manga in English release is only gonna be like a volume ahead, and then what? We're gonna have to wait another year, 2 years. Like
Probably
this is
multiple years, yeah.
this is the only downside of doing such a fresh manga as
It
an
feels
anime
like they're
adaptation.
trying to get, well, maybe it's popular, and maybe before it loses the hype, if you will. But
Well, even like Gachi Akuta that's currently airing, like that is even newer than Rooster Fighter, and that to me is like that's worrisome,
yeah, it feels like they're just trying so hard to find the new hot thing that they are like, well, if it doesn't get a season, like they'll be there.
Yeah, exactly.
And to be fair, like I think of something like Attack on Titan, which took forever to come out with its season 2, and guess people were there. They were
Exactly,
ready to watch it, but it does. I just feel like there's probably, and we would have to have a conversation with Gray, I feel like, to really get into the nitty gritty of the topic. But I'm sure, I'm sure there's a lot of manga that don't have anime that have been going on for quite some time that
could definitely,
potentially use one.
But then there's like other ones too, like My Hero Academia, for example, they're relatively close. Like the actual manga ended, a couple months ago now, and we're getting the final season coming out now. So like that to me kind of makes sense.
Well, you have to think of
Relatively
it as
speaking.
the effect. My Hero has almost been coming out yearly
Yeah.
since it's
Release,
so it's
like-
eventually going to catch up because it's just you cover more content. So that's fine, and there was no real major breaks.
Agreed.
I mean, I guess you could argue there were some kind of like part 1, part 2s for seasons, and that kind of helped create bigger buffers.
Yeah, but
that's just part of manga writing versus anime. Anime is going to cover so much more of that original
faster
content.
paced. Exactly.
But I just mean like we have, I guess, if we think of some series, I think I personally have read Vagabond. And now I know that that's a series that a lot of people are on the fence about getting berserked, if you will.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, you know what? No anime studio is going to do it, just leave it alone kind of thing. But I'm just saying, like, that's an example of one that probably would, and it's also technically not done, which is also probably an issue, but it would do probably pretty well. And it's a longer series that can be adapted.
Exactly.
Yona of the Dawn only ever got 1 season. It's an incredible story.
Yep.
that could have plenty more seasons easily. Very long running manga.
They can fix up other animes even. You
Yep.
know, we'll get into that a little bit, but obviously the one that I'm probably going to mention is Promised Neverland. Never got a season 2.
Perhaps one of the ones that literally has a season on here. They just restart. No, I'm just joking.
Exactly. No, I mean, the first season 1 of Promised Neverland is really well done.
No, yeah,
but
and the problem with that is I still think that that's too new,
yeah,
and that's a big issue for like we should not get a Promised Neverland until Tokyo Ghoul gets its own
remake.
fixed up
Yeah,
remake.
I agree.
But I just mean that we'll have to have Gray on maybe for a more in-depth topic of what manga should have anime series. I think about Komi Can't Communicate, how long it took for
that
to
to
get
get a
its own
season.
anime.
Yeah,
So I'm just saying there's a ton of stories out there that have more than 15 plus or even that are
Volumes.
15 volumes and are done.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? That could be totally, it's just that they're not the new hot thing and everyone wants to have that new hot item.
Exactly. I
too.
mean, I feel like
they all want that solo leveling, that Demon Slayer
Yeah.
to just.
I feel like Dan to Dan's gonna catch up by the end of the season. I feel like it's gonna be relatively close to the manga.
Based on what I've read, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think they'll get maybe in English, but I don't.
Yeah,
I
probably in
doubt-
English because I think English volumes is 13 right now.
Yeah,
and-
but they're quite ahead on the Japanese.
oh, okay. That makes
So I think that we still got a good chunk.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, like that is capable of going back to back years,
yeah. Before they
not
fully
even a
catch up.
full year,
Yeah.
right? Like, and being able to have more. Where some of these, like, do you really think Rooster Fighter is going to be able to go? Oh yeah, season 1 this year, season 2
No.
next year, like
No, it's not gonna happen. There's gonna be like a 2-year, 3-year break even.
exactly. So we'll put this one. We'll star this as a potential topic with Gray, because obviously Gray reads a ton more manga than both of us.
Agreed, yeah.
So it would be really interesting to see his thoughts on one, what series are finished that he thinks deserve an anime, series that maybe only got one season and they never came back to it. Because that's another thing. How many shows that were like, oh yeah, one season, never came back to it, even though the series kept going.
Yeah. It's tough.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
But diving back in.
Speaking of a manga that's finished and it's getting its final season,
Yep.
is Beastars.
Yeah, you're a big Beastars fan.
I was shocked when I watched it because again the CGI. I'm always like hesitant about CGI, and I'm not always
It's got a few things going for it. It's got the CGI. It's got like the anamorphic.
yeah.
stuff
And
going
again, I'm not
on.
usually a big fan of anamorphic, but what sold me on Beastars is how crazy the story is.
Yeah, it's dramatic.
It's dramatic as heck, and it actually like indirectly deals with real issues.
They handle the way like people like the characters aren't just animals for the sake of it. Like it makes sense the way the animals in
they're literal
see
animalistic.
each other. Yeah, see each other. They're the way they act or
Mhm.
things they can't
act
control.
upon. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm super excited for this. I didn't watch final season part 1 because I was like, I'll just watch it when
You got
part
time.
2, and then I just didn't know when part 2 was coming up. But I really enjoyed season 1 and season 2. I mean, if
Manga's
they,
been done for a while, right?
Manga's
Yeah.
been done, yeah, for a good few years. There's a spin-off, I think, like Beast Complex or something, done by the same manga. I don't know if it takes place in the same universe. I feel like it probably would, but you never know. But yeah, I think it's a great story, and I'm excited to see how it ends. Pretty sure I've said this on the podcast before, but if the ending is good,
Yeah.
then I will probably pick up the manga.
Nice.
I don't
yeah.
know. It's 23 volumes, which is
Not that bad.
not that bad. Good, healthy amount. But yeah, if the ending is great, then I'd love to see the actual source material of where it came from.
Fair enough. Going on to what is one of my favorite I'll call it on and off again mangas. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to this, which is sometimes you get into reading something and you either catch up or maybe you finish like a certain arc and you're like, oh, I'm going to take a break. And then you just forget about it for
Yeah.
like what feels like forever.
Yep.
And that is honestly this show to a T for me, or I guess the manga, not the show.
Yeah, the manga.
And that is Record of Ragnarok getting a season 3. I am so stunned that this even got a season 2 based off of
I
season 1.
agree.
But
Oh.
obviously, from a manga standpoint, it's incredible.
Such a great concept.
Art is great.
art
the
is
concept
great.
is great. The fights are epic.
It's wild.
Yeah, they're so good. And I really love when authors, and this goes for outside of manga as well. I mean, you think of something like Percy Jackson. I love when authors use gods, religion, mythology, and they like make it work so well into a
Yeah.
story. Like it's just, and they
And
keep the history of that.
They keep
character.
the history really well done, and it's crazy because this isn't just one mythology either. This
It's
is
so many.
all of the mythologies.
Yeah, and I love how we like if you don't know who a god is in it, they
Boom,
like
here's a
they
good
give, Yeah, they give like a
description.
backstory
Yeah.
where you follow the god and like,
even like the one-off characters of the humans too. Like they will give you the backstory, so
and they're all
know.
historical figures.
Yeah.
It's very fun. I think it almost scratches that itch of what I really liked about Fate originally when I
Yeah.
first watched Fate.
Because the fight scenes are
the
phenomenal.
fights are awesome. The characters are cool because they're like historic figures at
Yeah.
first. When you're just like, oh, that's kind of cool.
And this idea seems so crazy because you're gonna tell me that Jack the Ripper's fighting Hercules
For humanity.
and it's what?
I know.
And Nikola Tesla in season 3, you'll see is Tesla is fighting Hades. I'm pretty sure.
I will say, at least in the trailer, I saw some fighting.
I saw some fighting, a little less slideshowy.
But
So-
that could also be the only frames that are in it.
It could be.
It's a scary thought.
That is. I hope it's not the case, but I'll be watching
Maybe
it.
I
but-
am. I mean, I haven't deep dived into season 3 nor season 2 for that matter. But it is possible maybe it's done the Kingdom effect, where Kingdom season 1 I remember not doing very well, or and maybe even season 2. But then from that, like a certain point on, they changed something, and then it feels like people love it. And
Yeah.
to be fair, I love the Kingdom story, but I just mean the people who stuck around, like it ended up being worth it because they improved a lot.
Yeah, they're actually listening to their fans.
Yeah, so I'm hoping perhaps that's what's going on with Record of Ragnarok. It also is a Netflix exclusive, I
Yes, it
believe.
is,
So
yeah.
maybe Cha-Ching back in it, so that's why they're able to keep. Maybe they have a certain
Keep
amount
it
of seasons,
funding.
or maybe they have like a certain seasons in.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna do 3 seasons, and then we'll see.
It just sucks because this show has potential to do such clean, crazy fight scenes.
Oh yeah, if you give this to a studio that
If you were to give this to like Bones or something,
Ufotable.
like be insane fight
yeah.
sequences.
Unfortunately, though,
we got slideshows.
it's hasn't lived up. Hopefully, season 3 is better.
Yeah, it looks like it could be. I don't want to get my hopes up, but I'll be watching it to see how good or bad it could be.
That's true.
Moving on to one of the biggest news, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, you excited?
I think
for
this is a big one.
I think
and
Gray's excited for this.
Gray is definitely excited. We did talk about this one on a previous episode.
One. Yes, for sure. I can't remember which.
I can't
'cause
remember.
He's been on
but
a few times.
He's been on a few times. One of the ones this year. That's all I know. This is Yomi no Suge. The trailer for it dropped. In English, it's Demons of the Shadow Realm, and it is done by the creator of Full Metal Alchemist, one of the highest rated shows on my anime list.
And not only is it the same author, but the same studio is
Exactly.
taking her work on. That is Studio Bones. So that's, I mean, from what we've seen so far, that seems to be quite the duo.
Exactly. So I can read a little description here. I got a little description here for
Yeah,
what
sure,
the
go for
show's
it.
about, just so it gets people pumped. But in a world where certain humans command mighty supernatural duos called daemons, it is the birthright of the children who sunder day and night, twins Yuru and Asha, to rule over these powerful entities. Separated from a young age and unaware of the truth of their birth, brother and sister must fight to make their way back to each other, claim their birthright, and save the world. Epic.
Sounds great.
Sounds epic.
And it looks like Hawkeye. If you've ever seen like the cover, like it looks like Hawkeye. Like,
It really
you can just
does.
Tell.
You
kinda
know
like
that
when-
artwork.
It's kind of like when you look at Soul Eater, and then you look at Fire Force, and you're just like, oh, I can tell.
Yeah, same guy.
Yeah, you can tell.
He's got
the
his art
art is just
style.
like, yeah. But I'm super excited. We're currently watching Kaji Yakuta, which is by Bones. It's
Yep.
only 2 episodes in. Holding back the judgment for now. We'll get into that at another time, but I mean, I'm always down for Studio Bones anime.
Yeah.
I'd say they've earned our trust. Is what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Not often am I sad. Now we're going into a iconic story. Without this, what will we have? Level character
Yeah.
and manga, and not well received based on the trailer, unfortunately. And that is Fist of the North Star getting an anime remake. We only got a teaser, and it was horrifying to look at. It was CGI, but not even good. Not even like, it didn't even feel like there was an attempt for it to look good. Now, it was just a teaser with the amount of hate. Maybe they clean things up and You never know. But from right now, I can say that we are looking at Berserk 2016 level of yikes.
Big yikes indeed.
And this is an iconic story. Like,
Yeah.
without Fist of the North Star, like, this has inspired so many big series, so many series that most people are probably watching right now that if this never existed, they wouldn't be watching what they like.
Agreed.
So hopefully the we get a Sonic level effect here. There's enough
people complain.
Yeah, and they're like, you know what? We're pushing it. We're fixing it. We won't release
Fix
that.
it up for you.
That would be, but I've never seen that happen with anime yet.
Never
So,
gonna happen.
but we can dream. I'm gonna jump over out of order for our list here, just to
Keep me on my toes.
exactly. Now we're going into something that I never thought was gonna get a season 2, and that's Cyberpunk Edge Runners 2. This one, Studio Trigger back at it. Fantastic. Love them. Just amazing studio. No complaints. You did watch Cyberpunk
I did,
1,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Did you ever think after that ending that we were going to be getting a 2?
That's why I'm like, when I saw this on the list, I was like, what?
Now,
and then I
am I
watched the
upset?
trailer.
Am I upset?
No.
Absolutely not.
It's Trigger. Like,
It's
it's
Trigger
that
and the
Trigger, like that signature Trigger animation.
And there's just something like that fits, like that cyberpunk vibe just feels like it's
they
like a
nail
match
it.
made in heaven.
It's such a vibrant art style, and the music is great.
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
And like, I don't know, when you get the Trigger animation plus the vibrant art style plus some great music,
It's a cool world. Tech,
it's just
fight scenes. Like, come on.
yeah,
But I will say, was not expect. This
No.
is, if you were to say, what are you most surprised? This is the most.
this is the
surprised.
yeah.
Absolutely, and I'm not upset about it.
Which, if you haven't seen, you should totally go watch Cyberpunk
Absolutely,
Edge Runners.
yeah. If you
Like,
haven't
it's-
watched it yet, you
this-
don't need to be into the game. Like,
No, I've never played the game before.
you can just
So-
watch it. It's its own thing, just in that world, and it is.
You'll finish-
It is a roller
It's
coaster.
a roller coaster. You'll finish season 1 being like,
You'll be
how
questioning
would they
things.
do a season 2?
that?
And
plus
that is the
you'll
age-old question.
and you'll just have a good ride.
Exactly.
Now, I think obviously we already knew about this one. No surprises. That's Freerin Beyond Journey's End season 2. We got a trailer. Looks like the quality is
It's
staying
staying,
where it was.
Which is A-okay. I mean, there was a reason why Fruin Season 1 was up for Anime of the Year. Season 2 could probably be up for Anime of the Year. Obviously, we don't know what's coming out for the rest of that year. But yeah, the animation, the world, everything looks like it's up to the standard.
Madhouse is bringing it again, and a very rare, it happens every now and then, but a rare case of them coming back for doing an actual sequel season.
Yep.
And I'm ready. I think a lot of people can say that they're ready. If somehow you didn't watch or haven't even heard of Freerin,
Go.
it's time to go watch
Go
it.
watch it.
It's the highest rated thing on my anime list. It's and deserving.
Yes.
The only thing that I would say is for me is it's not done. That's the only take. It's not done, so it's hard to say is it as good as some of the things it's above because those are completed.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I have. But other than that, the characters I love them all. The story is maybe it's a little slow for some people, but I really enjoyed that
Yeah.
first section of the story, and it really gets you thinking. Even though we are just humans, so we've got a short lifespan.
What are we?
But that's part of the thought process.
Exactly.
And I would say like those stories that get you thinking like that, they stick with you longer, I think.
I would agree with that for sure.
Now this one's a very funny titling for me because when this show first came out, this was the end of Naruto.
Yeah.
Naruto was wrapping up, and I remember the amount of marketing that was going into this show was crazy. And that's Black Clover getting a season 2, which is incredible to say considering there's like whatever hundreds of episodes there is of
Yeah.
Black Clover, and now we're getting a season 2.
Is the
But
manga done?
the manga is not done,
Okay.
but
Hiatus?
it went on hiatus, and I could be mistaken, but I believe it's supposed to come back in August.
Okay.
But it's very close. Like it's like wrapping up stages kind of level of
Gotcha.
the manga. But I'm excited. Obviously, recently I did catch up on the whole anime, so that was an enjoyable experience. But it is just funny that I remember watching Naruto weekly as it was ending.
Yeah.
And it was all over Crunchyroll. The next big shonen, and it's by Studio Pierrot, who did obviously Naruto, which is, and they're obviously hyping up the next series to be, because it was a weekly. It was something that another shonen story that was just gonna go week
after week.
There
after
was no
week,
seasons. It was just
go.
and then they started slowing down because like we're catching up, and obviously it did end up. It had its little rough patch at the start, and I think that's partly due to one, people love Naruto.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna be like, this is the next Naruto, people are gonna be like, no, it isn't.
No, it ain't.
No,
And
it ain't.
I'm not gonna watch it specifically because of that.
You said it was, no, it isn't.
Yeah.
And it's unapologetically a shonen, I think, which is part of its strength, in my opinion. It really leans into being like, it's a classic battle shonen. Yes, we have all the tropes because it's a battle shonen. Like, I respect it for that.
Okay.
And once you get through that little, for the anime, the little screaming, screaming doesn't stop, but it gets toned down a bit.
Yeah.
It is a fun ride. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but I will say it's underrated.
Yeah.
I do think
enjoyable.
it's definitely enjoyable. If you're into battle shonen, what are you doing? You should be watching it. I mean, there's nothing simpler than to say that if you like battle shonen, you're gonna like it.
Yeah, plain and simple.
And I just found the name Season 2 funny, just because it's got like 200 plus episodes or whatever it is, and
now
it's like, oh yes, Season 2. But I'm excited. We'll see how it is. I believe Studio Pierrot Films, in quotes, is a new branch that Studio P started for animation studios. So now there's like regular Studio Pierrot and Studio Pierrot Films, and I believe this is one of the reasons that branch opened up. So
that makes sense.
Hoping to see some good stuff from it. Speaking of Studio P and starting their new studio, this is probably their biggest title from that studio so far, and that's Bleach.
The 1,000-Year Blood War final season?
I put in brackets here. Are we getting some Attack on Titan level shiz?
I have never read or watched Bleach, so I don't actually know how far or how close they are to the ending of this actual arc.
The question for me, it's more like how much do they end up covering? Because they could easily do 12 episodes, and because the problem with the 1,000-Year Blood War arc as a whole was this was the arc that was, you could argue, a little bit more on the rush side of things, because it was like the more sudden ending of Bleach.
Yeah.
Where it kind of felt like more like Jump was like, you have this many chapters, wrap it up.
Yeah.
And I do believe the plan is to extend.
Okay.
By working with the writer to get a more proper ending or what he wanted to tell.
Okay.
I think he has been working with the studio in that. So there could be a lot more lore and or fights and or dialogue put into that the fans don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that's hard to gauge, because I can easily see, watch 12 episodes, and then they're like, Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War final season part 2. Then maybe there's a part 3. I'm just saying, it's looking like a slippery slope, and we've seen it before.
Well, we know it sells, unfortunately.
Because we could see Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War final season, final act.
Part 2.
It could happen. I'm just saying, it's looking very similar, but
yeah.
I've really enjoyed this arc. It really makes me wish that we could have seen Studio P at this level for their other big projects, like all of Naruto, all of Shippuden, all of Bleach.
Yeah.
Like, because the quality has just been fantastic, and it's been a real treat to watch. Especially since it's like the most hype part of Bleach. Like, we're at like the epitome, right? So, I'm here for the ride.
That's fair.
Now going on to something that
just happy to see.
I mean, we kind of already knew because the season wrapped up recently, and they kind of did have an announcement that was like,
it's coming.
The classic, like, we'll be back-esque. Yeah. And that's Apothecary Diaries Season 3 confirmation. Not surprised. The only thing that is a questionable is I don't know how much the story has been going off the manga versus the light novel.
But the manga is an adaptation of the light novel.
I understand that. But I'm saying
the
is
pacing wise,
but also, are they taking a lot from the panels and putting that into like, okay, this is how it was visioned? Because One Punch Man is taken from a webtoon. Are they using the webtoon? No, they're using the manga. You know what I mean? Like, So that's all I'm saying is how much are they taking from the light novel, and if this season 3, because we're basically caught up to the manga now.
Mhm.
So are they taking from? Have they been taken from the light novel the whole time? They just kind of used the manga as reference images and stuff.
Reference, inspiration.
So I'm a little bit more tentative going into for the season 3 to see if it will keep the same imagery.
Yeah.
Obviously they now kind of have an art style that they're following and that can work. And if they have been adapting the whole time, then there's no issue. But if they haven't, then I think maybe we'll see potentially a drop off in quality slightly, but
Slight
I'm
drop off
hoping
in
not.
quality. We also don't know when it's going to be airing during the season
That's
either.
true
So
as
this could be winter
Oh, it could be 2027.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just be hey, this is
We're
working
happening.
on it. Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a hot
you haven't
winter.
seen season 2 yet,
No,
but
I
we did
haven't.
watch season 1 for a anime of the month this year, and I think I speak for both of us when we say that it was
Top tier.
It was excellent.
Beautiful.
Excellent.
Very well done.
So I'm not upset to have a season 3 come. Can't come fast enough. But also I want it to be done well, so I can wait,
Exactly.
But I also don't want to wait. It's tough. It's very tough.
Exactly.
On to something that I'm excited for, and a couple of people in my inner anime watching circle are excited for, and that's Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation getting its season 3 finally. Wow, this is in a world filled with isekai. It is nice to know that the ones you like are still getting seasons, because sometimes it does feel like you like one and it just gets forgotten.
Yeah.
Because it's a very large swimming pool out there right now. It's
Isekai
an ocean.
Is
It's an ocean.
the whole planet of water.
Yeah. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And this, in my opinion, is one of the top ones.
Yeah.
And I'll loop in another top one here with another trailer, and that is ReZero season 4
How
trailer.
pumped.
I cannot believe we got both of them at Anime Expo. That's pretty epic. Both are up there for top 3 for me for isekai in the genre. Obviously ReZero, very close to my heart. Love it. I think it might be one of the, no, I was gonna say one of, but I watched SA. I feel like everyone's watched SAO, but
Yeah.
But
ReZero is arguably your favorite isekai.
It's probably my favorite, and then Mushoku Tensei.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely super stoked for both of these. The less I have to go watch other new isekai and really just roll that D100 on if it's gonna be good or not.
Yeah.
The better. I'm not saying no hate.
Yeah.
It's just,
If there is an isekai that you guys enjoy that you guys think we should watch, drop a comment below.
like,
Let us
we'll
know.
watch it if it's good, and I keep my eye out. I'm just not going out watching.
You're just hesitant because there's so many.
I'm just not going to go out and watch every single one.
Exactly.
I'll wait until someone
Yeah.
says, "Oh, this one's popping." I'll be like, "Okay, I'll watch the
Give
popping
the
one."
3-episode try.
But yeah, that was these are actually our final big announcements, if you will. Mushoku Tensei and ReZero. I know that you have not actually watched either or
I have not.
on your isekai journey.
They
Where-
will be there soon.
Whereabouts? So which have you watched so far? Because remember you've mentioned earlier in the podcast. I think it was actually this year earlier on that you were talking about how you kind of wanted to get a couple under the belt. If you
Yeah,
will.
I want to try and watch a few that are like popular, but then ones that aren't that are more slightly like niche, for example. So I'm gonna pull up quick. Trying to look. I watched one of the Sword Art Online movies earlier this year to kind of remind myself of that world, because I have not seen SAO since season 2. So
Right.
after the end of Gun Gale,
Okay, yeah,
just
yeah.
never got back. So I watched Konosuba. I watched the first season of that. I know that one was probably not the one I should be watching, but that's okay. I watched Zenshu, which technically an isekai.
Yeah. Not
Um,
as, and I think I've had a conversation with Gray about this specifically, which is the stories that take advantage of being from another world and going into the world are usually the ones that feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
And Ashura was just like, they just got planned in there, and that was just it. Like, it's never referenced again. I feel like
Yeah.
the ones that use the outside world that they were part of, like Earth, and their knowledge from there into the new world they're in, or how they felt, or if they had issues, etc., like stuff like that. That's what makes those stories better, in my opinion.
I would agree with that for sure. Otherwise, I watched the first season of Rising of Shield Hero. This might be controversial, but I probably won't go back to it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I thought it was good, but it wasn't like amazing. We're like, man, I'd love to know what happens next. It was,
Shield Hero for me was one that I definitely liked when it was airing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is fun. This is good. And then it was, I don't think the season 2 came out for like 2 years.
Yeah, it was a bit of a break, yeah.
And I was like, I'm done. The hype's worn off.
Yeah. Then the only other one, which I did actually watch weekly when it was airing, was Red Ranger Becomes an Adventure in Another World. Obviously a big Power Ranger fan, so I had to watch that. But I don't really know what's next for Isekai right now for me.
Perhaps a ReZero, perhaps a Mushoku Tensei.
Could be. But we'll see. I think
we've talked off podcast, but Matt's
I have a
general plan
list.
is to also only watch the first season of them.
Yeah, give it a
Obviously,
taste.
Going into season 4 of ReZero, the expectation is not going to be like he's going to crank out the first 2 seasons. I think
the
to
next
make
one,
it easy on you, it's watch a season, kind of get your vibe, watch a new one,
exactly.
Doing the taster, and then being after a few tastes, being like, I'm gonna go back to that one because I really like that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna watch that time I got reincarnated as a slime season 1 because that's another big one.
Big one, enjoyable, fun.
So I'll probably watch season 1, and then maybe I'll see if there's an Isekai that's airing this season that I can.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
There definitely is, but
sure
whether or not one that will properly catch my eye,
it's
a different situation.
I gotcha.
But otherwise, yeah, I don't. Stay tuned for my really random Isekai adventure Rooney.
Yeah, we're closing in on Matt hitting some pretty big numbers for his
I am
his
30
anime
away.
watching experience.
30 away from the goal
when we hit that goal, we have an episode that came out very early on.
We're going to
revisit, and it'll be a good time. I think we'll probably have Gray on, and I'm very interested to see changes.
Yeah.
Or if there are any changes.
From the top of my head, I can guarantee there's a couple changes.
Oh, okay.
Because there was a lot of recency bias.
It's hard to avoid, though.
Yeah, recency bias, I think, is so tough when you're watching anime because...
in everything. I think for comics as well, novels, especially as I've gotten more into reading. Yeah. I'm just like, this was the best series ever. And then I read a new series, and I'm like, this was the best series ever. This was the greatest thing ever written.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough. It's a tough. You really have to think and be like, look at it stuff objectively, which can be very difficult.
Yeah.
But I am very excited to see the changes because I'm sure we'll revisit the original.
Really?
I don't want to spoil anything, so we'll backtrack, and I'm sure it'll be fun. It'll be a very fun episode.
Very intriguing. I'm super excited. The plan is for me to get to 300 completions on my anime list. And I'm hoping to surpass that. But my goal is 300. I mean,
it's a good amount. And some people may say, well, I've watched 600. We all have to remember that Matt is... I'm
a busy lad.
Not only is Matt working like 3-4 jobs, it feels like at some points, he's also reading novels. He's also reading comics. He's also doing research on random stuff that all of a sudden he's into because maybe he reads Swamp Thing and he's like, you know what, what was that character?
Yeah, what was that? And then I'm deep dive, and next, picking up graphic novels about that character.
And then he's reading about Star Wars. He's watching regular TV shows. He's watching stuff for the Nerdy Misfits. He's just watching
my girlfriend.
Movies.
I'm watching. Yeah, I got I'm dabbling in so many things sometimes that it's so hard to catch up with.
Yeah, it's like if you were just on anime, you'd be cruising.
I'd be 300 earlier this year.
Oh yeah, you'd be just Matt put that amount of time into just anime, he'd be at like 1,000 anime already from the start of the podcast to now,
which is wild. But it's fun. This is obviously off podcast, but I have you've created a track sheet for me for all the anime that I'm watching this year, episode count, when I watched it, the monthly rating. So right now it looks like I'm averaging about eight anime a month.
That's pretty good,
which is not bad actually. Except I'm looking at them like January was 8, April was 8, May was 8,
and slowing down. I feel like I was expecting
February was 2. But
I was expecting the summer to be also slow down for both of us. I haven't filled one out yet.
I am at 3 anime for the month so far.
Not bad.
But that was me finishing up a seasonal, and then I watched a recap movie. So it's tough because some of this stuff obviously counts more.
We
than
left
others.
out that you also do writing.
Oh yeah, I also
and you run a Star Wars, a
Power Ranger RPG. So
which also takes up a lot of time. If you don't know, DMing
does take a lot of time. Fun fact:
being the game master is
probably never assumed that takes a lot of time, but
it's a no joke. That's for sure. And I can say, if you're a listener, and I know we have them, from Matt's game, Man puts in a lot of work, more than probably he should.
So much, too much work, man. But it's okay. They enjoy it.
You guys be trolling
I
him
enjoy
sometimes.
it. They troll me so hard sometimes. It's a pain. But it's okay. We got the next session is the big session, session 40, so they know something's going to be happening soon.
Actually crazy, especially if you consider that it has not been weekly.
Yeah. I didn't think I was going to get to session 40, I'll be honest. I was like...
I feel like you didn't think you were getting to session 15.
No, I really didn't. And the fact that, we're at...
Big shout out to your group, 40. Though, for being able to last through people being able having to
past
leave.
Players and present players. Thank you guys so much for keeping this random story alive and just
having fun with
eating it up and having fun with it. The Power Rangers wouldn't be fighting the Turtles or going with the G.I. Joe or teaming up with Transformers without you guys. So, yeah.
But yeah, with that said, we'll wrap up here. A little bit of a shorter, closer to our OG time.
Which is A-okay. Sometimes they need a shorter episode to listen to of us not monologuing for too long. But you guys know the drill. If you're a fan of what we do here, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like, comment. What's your favorite anime? What's your favorite Marvel character?
What was the anime that got you the most excited from the Anime Expo?
Did we miss anything that happened at Anime Expo that you guys think we should have mentioned? Let us know. Remember to jump in that Discord. Talk about the anime of the month. I'm very curious what people think of Ping Pong the Animation. It's available on Crunchyroll in Canada if you're looking to find a place to stream it. But otherwise, yeah, thank you guys for the continuous support of this insanity that Connor and I do every Wednesday.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you next week for Ping Pong the Animation. We'll see you the week after Fantastic Four First Steps. And we'll see you the week after that and the week after that, because that's just what we do here.
That's true.
At the Nerdy Misfit
Podcast.
Podcast.
It happens to be weekly. So we'll see you guys next Wednesday.
All right. Good luck. See you then. Bye.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast. Don't forget to join the island by dropping a follow. Thank you. And see you next week.